What is up, athletes? What's going on? Coach Ken giving it a try. We're just going to skip week 34 because, we're just headed into week 35. Like, time is going by that quickly this season. It's unbelievable. But, I judge it as like we're progressing because awesome things are happening. People are out there getting it done, prepping for races, getting some awesome training in, some awesome group training. It's been really great summer overall, kind of the summer that I was looking for myself, training wise, coaching wise, and it's all coming, finally to a peak here, which means September 1st is going to be here before we know it. Crazy. September is going to be an awesome month, so stay tuned. There's just so many peak races and so many different distances and different athletes and first timers and veterans stepping up to the start line, looking to do big things, and that's just a jump off really for the peak end of the year as we head into marathons right in after that, which is amazing also. So just keep getting after it right now. We had about a week ago, you saw we had like a mini tri camp for the coached athletes, a bunch of them which are doing the Jones Beach Race 70.3. They were at that distance in training where they were basically doing a 70.3 for the weekend. So we headed out Friday night. We did a 1.2 mile swim. Early Saturday, 56 mile bike with a little runoff. And then we ran a half marathon on the run course on Sunday morning. So they basically, a lot of the athletes got in that 70.3 distance within that 36-hour period, which is so awesome in training to hit that point, that confidence booster, to hit that weekend right. That means you hit all your metrics and all your milestones right in training leading up to that. You didn't really leave any stone unturned or any brick not put in the wall properly. And you were able to execute and have a great weekend, and everybody bounced, right into recovery after that and knocked out their final week in that phase of building. And a lot of people, especially for the Jones Beach Race, are headed into that infamous deload week. And what's great about that is the final deload week before taper. So it's a very important week this week for those athletes because you've done a bunch of blocks of training. You just hit a pretty big block of training, and you're going to put in some really big weeks coming up after, this deload week coming up. And that's going to peak you for race day. The way, if we get this right now, this deload heading into that peak phase, you're going to have that much more energy to get these workouts done, more motivation, and then, you're going to be pretty tired when you hit your taper stage, which is good. And then you're going to slide the recovery scale right to race day and, just keep the body fresh, keep things moving, and then have a really good race day. Put all of that, to the start line and have a great victory lap. And don't forget, full iron athletes in September as well. Multiple different races training for, and to watch them peak as well right about now in this week and next week headed into those races is really awesome, especially a few of them are going to be first timers stepping up to that start line. So it is nervous energy, right? It's but nervous is good. That means you're excited. That means you're into it. You're feeling it, and just keep going with it. Trust the process, and just keep getting after it. For those coach athletes out there, just as we hit these peak weeks, some things may get tweaked. It's kind of, a lot of people can follow the same type of template at the beginning of training, but depending how your training progressed or how I feel, you will maximize this time. I may adjust certain workouts, and it's kind of hard for me to just reach out to you and let you know that I changed the workout a few days out as far as like distance or intensity. So just keep refreshing every couple days. Just make sure that you're seeing the workouts if they get changed or anything like that, and making sure we're hitting everything. We may change things as far as intensity or volume. One awesome thing that I heard recently, a quote that I like, was called, they said, do your work. What does that mean? Do your work means do your work. Don't do anybody else's work. Don't worry about the work that they're doing, like such things as Strava or talking to your friends or comparing things, comparing zones, numbers, power numbers, what you're doing mileage-wise, volume, intensity, whatever it is. Do your work means look at the calendar, understand what the purpose of the workout is, understand the week you have ahead, what the purpose of that week is, where you are in your plan, what phase you're in. That could be a building phase. It could be a base building phase. It could be a peaking phase. It could be a tapering phase. And understanding that there's a reason that that work is labeled there specifically for you. So do your work. It is fun to jump in and out of other people's workouts as the time comes, but we don't want to have that at the cost of being detrimental to your training progress and your ability to perform on race day. So when I say do your work, that means focus on you. That means refocus, stop comparing, and get your work done. Get done what you have to do to help progress yourself in the endurance sports, and be proud of the work you do. It doesn't mean because you're not faster than somebody you think you should be, or you think you should be at a certain level by this point. That does not mean you're not putting in hard work. Everybody progresses in endurance differently. Everybody has their own peak of what they're capable of, what their full potential is. Full potential is not running 6 minutes a mile for everybody. Like, that's not the cap, and that's not, or world record pace. That's not where we can all be potentially. There's so many factors and things that, unfortunately, yes, will limit what our potential is per individual, but that's fine. What the whole purpose of a coach and athlete relationship is to find what direction we can go to start reaching your potential, and find out what that potential is. And maybe it'll actually be even more than what you thought it was once you start putting all the right pieces together and connecting all the dots properly. So again, continue on your journey, continue on your process, do your work, be proud of it, and you will have a successful race day. By now, you should have been practicing with fueling, understanding what you need to eat day in and day out, adjusting things properly heading into these last blocks of building for the year. And when you start hitting these big workouts, treat them like race day. Be diligent with what you do the night before, diligent what you do in the morning of, during, and what you do afterwards for recovery, and you too will see the benefits. And I will tell you, just because you're peaking into this final part of training does not mean you're going to feel your best. So I don't like the term. It's not how you're going to feel peaking. Because peaking is really on race days when you're nice, well rested, and you're putting in that good effort on race day. These sessions are going to be a grind for some people, especially if these are the first times you're doing these distances, these longer workouts weekend after weekend. The body's still acclimating and adjusting. You're fatiguing the body on levels that you may have never fatigued the body before, so it has to recover from that. So don't be upset if you're going to go for this second long ride in a row, week after week, and maybe it felt worse than the week before. Guess what? That's normal. That's part of the process. It's not always going to feel better or better than the week before or prior workout. It just depends on so many different factors and fatigue levels throughout the week in your life and all these other things. But you just got to trust it and get out there and do it. Just remember, you're doing it. You look at when your peak week volume wise. So that's how we want to look at it, is the most volume you're going to do in your this 1 week period or 2 week period of training, and look at the amount of work that's done in that time frame. And that's done on a tired body, a tired system, tired legs, and then picture scaling back a little bit when we start tapering and recovering and feeling good, feeling fresh. The motivation, you're really starting to really want to get after it and get on that start line. And then being able to put in a good performance on race day. And that's what peaking to the race really means. And you're going to have a good race day. Trust me. These are all natural feelings that everybody reaches out and discusses with me. You're not the only one. That's just a part of the endurance process and gaining fitness and tiring the body so it can make adaptations and become better and stronger and faster. But remember, you got to fuel. I keep saying that. Keep assessing yourself. If you're falling behind for a day or two, it's fine. Just pick it up and get back at it and keep getting done what you got to get done. And I guess really the only other thing I wanted to touch on tonight was, stay in the moment, stay focused on the goals, because already I know people are starting to talk about next year and plans and things and or these audacious goals that we all want to have. And that's good. It's good to know that there is more. You want more. Like you're working towards something, but you're still hungry. You want to keep going. But stay focused with now. Yes, you can look at that and start thinking about things in the future. But also, before you make any firm decisions, and whether or not you are going to continue like a one-on-one coaching with your coach for the year, for next year, even if you're not, still have that discussion, because they may be able to guide you and tell you how they might guide you to a better structured goals for next year and races, as opposed to just signing up for a bunch of things your friends are signing up for and just stacking all these races on there. That may not really help you progress to find what that potential is, because if you're doing all these different races of different distances, not stacked properly along in training, you're not going to be able to put in good blocks of training or a training plan to actually reach these goals that you want to have on race day. So if you're really looking to push yourself potential wise, see kind of what you're capable of, see what your peak is, what your max is, have that conversation with myself if I'm coaching, or whatever other coach you talk to, and see if they can help guide you for the best possible layout that we can have year after year. I like to kind of pride myself on that. My goals and races kind of all build off each other and stack well throughout the year, different phases, different cycles, different distances. And you can really play around and race a lot without actually, with decreasing, I should say, the risk of injury, burnout, overtraining, and things like that. So get after it. Week 35. Amazing that we've already gotten to this point of the year. It's just unbelievable, all the things that everybody's doing. And just keep getting after it. So again, keep bouncing that life 1 mile at a time. Stay safe, stay healthy, everybody, and I will catch you soon.